Thank you, Jackal, for the fart noise. This is absolutely true.
Uh-huh.
The Troon mass delusion will end when enough people simply refuse to play along.
That's right.
And that's really
And I'm one of those people.
The madness includes donor wombs paid for by tax dollars. How about no? Absolutely not. And this is an old article. Like, this was before this got really out of hand. This is from 2019. So we're collectively beginning to see what takes place when a society is in the grip of a mass delusion. It's not the first time in history that mass delusion has swept through a civilization, but it is undoubtedly the severest case. And now that we see all these child gender clinics popping up all over the country.
Well, lobotomy was close.
Yeah, lobotomy was probably closest. Elderly women and young mothers are being bullied by the police for insisting that biological men are men, new genders, and I can't find a single person who can actually name more than a half dozen of the apparently 50-plus that now exist, multiply almost weekly.
Women can have penises. Men can get pregnant. Children should be taken at their word if they're confused about their gender.
My God. This is probably the most dangerous delusion of all because you're talking about eliminating entire genetic legacies.
Correct. And listen, the minute you start taking those drugs, your window of success in life shrinks radically.
Very much so.
Because, listen, when you're 9 years old to about 18 is when you do a majority of your growing.
Yep.
You don't want to screw with anything during that time period.
Yeah.
And the minute you do, there are unseen and unforecasted consequences that we don't even know about yet.
Yep. It's going to get really, really bad before it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that. I can't even, I can't wrap my head around it because in this next article here, all these articles available on redonkulous.com, of course, Troons are suffering and indulging their delusions will not help them.
No.
We've been saying this for years. You don't tell a schizophrenic that the aliens are real. You don't tell them that putting their head in a microwave will stop the voices.
No. No, the only thing you do when you have that attitude is you're literally turning your back on somebody who has lost touch with reality, and they might just Lizzie Borden your ass.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
I mean, if a child came up to you with a red dishcloth wrapped around their neck and said, I'm Superman, I'm going to go fly off the garage, you wouldn't say, oh, that's nice, honey. You go right ahead. I mean, if you feel that that's what you are, go do it. No, you'd be attending a funeral with a really tiny casket.
Yes. Well, I'd be like, well, you can play Superman all you want, but you're not jumping.
You're only playing once.
You're not jumping off a building. It's just not happening.
That's essentially what we're doing now,
yes.
What these leftoids are doing with their kids. They're telling them that they can go jump off the garage and they'll fly. Gravity works. Biology's real.
That's right. You can believe you can fly all you want.
Yeah. And no amount of slaggedy Andy stitching, putting together like a meat tube down there is magically going to make you a male any more than lapping off the real deal. And, trying to entice people with your poop wound is going to make you into a faggoty Ann. I don't care.
God damn, that was horrible.
God.
That poop wound thing, that's just, God, that's just savage. I got to write that down.
This is dangerous, like truly, truly dangerous stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And yet they're running with it because it's profitable. And the powers that be have managed to convince people who think they're resisting the powers that be. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
We're marginalized by the system. No, that's funny because literally every single major corporation had a rainbow icon for a whole month this year.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen.
You don't see them, putting on bed sheets.
We got Black Month. We got Gay Month. But yet we only have 1 week of Shark Week. What the fuck?
Well, to be honest, there's 1 week of Shark Week every month. You just got to be aware.
Well, if you're married, you might have that.
That's a true story.
I'm good.
It's just, wow.
Well, if we're going to look at, I think we should make that comparison.
Yeah.
You got one whole month. You know, Gay Month. You have Black History Month. We should have, Shark Month.
Mm-hmm.
And what about, Military Month?
Shark Month. June should be Military Month.
Yeah.
Fuck pride. Pride's one of the 7 deadly sins, just like social
here's
justice.
Another thing. Let's just say gay pride. I'm not going to, allow them to hijack a word that applies to one of the 7 deadly sins to represent them. And I also find it's incredibly telling that they're using the rainbow flag when in reality, after the big flood, the rainbow was a covenant with God.
Mm-hmm.
And they've totally hijacked that for their own craziness. And what's going to happen? At some point, the women of the West are going to say, fuck you. Men and women are different now. And the trans people need to stop showing up and destroying us at our own sports. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's just like that Marine video again.
You're already having people not like somebody's, what was it, a woman doing a pool competition. She makes it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And she's got to fight this trans guy.
Yeah, and
she
she's like, no,
packs
I'm
up her
out.
bag and leaves.
Yep.
And listen,
More power to her.
if you show up and you're competing against women and they bring a dude in, don't compete.
Leave.
Because it's not a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be great if you had like these trans swimmers. They get up there to swim, and then everyone just doesn't jump in, and they have to swim by themselves.
That's exactly what they should do.
It's
And what's
bad.
hilarious is that there are a lot of sports now that have talking about opening up, the Troon leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, sign right up. Amazingly, they're not signing up for those.
I wonder why.
I wonder if it's because they want to lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah, it's not like we're a bunch of evil hairless monkeys and we're on board with that or anything.
No wonder they vote Democrat.
Wow.
Fascinating.
I love that one dude, that power lifter. Walked in there. I'm a woman today.
Walks in there, boom, 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 sets a world record, and then he just goes back to being a dude the very next day.
Yeah.
But this is the insanity, the delusion that they've opened up to the world. They have made it possible for men to just walk in there, take everything away that women could possibly earn for themselves, and then walk off. In an attempt to fight the patriarchy, they actually created one.
Yeah. They did. I mean, there was a couple MMA
Talk
fights.
about your all-time backfires.
We had like a trans individual fighting women, and these women were getting just absolutely just trounced. Like one woman had her skull fractured.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, that could be easily a fatal wound. And more than likely, once you fracture your skull, you will never be the same.
You would know.
Yeah, you will never be the same.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.